Okay.
Visible, sir.
Okay. Thanks for the confirmation. So, anybody remember in last class till which section we have covered? I think in safety, couple of sections we covered already.
Sir,
As per
section 35, protection of eyes.
yes.
Sorry, section 36, sir. Precaution against dangerous fumes or gases.
Okay. Thanks, Amit. Okay. From there we can start. Section 36. Yeah. Precautions against dangerous fumes and gases. Okay. So it is nothing but the requirement of a confined space. So just to give you an idea, so we are discussing this Factories Act 1948 requirements. Okay, so we have covered as of now the preliminary chapter as well as health, and now we are in health chapter. In health chapter, we are discussing section number 36. So when I say act, it is approved at the parliament level, which is all over India. The requirement is same. Okay. So when we talk about precautions against dangerous fumes and gases, no person shall be required or allowed to enter any chamber, tank, vat, pit, pipe, or flue or other confined space in any factory in which any gas, fume, or vapor or dust is likely to be present to such an extent as to involve risk to the persons being overcome thereby unless it is provided with a manhole or adequate size or other effective means of egress. It is simply wherever there is a chance, जिधर भी जो फ्लेमेबल हो गया, टॉक्सिक हो गया, जो गैसेस हो सकता है, उस जगह के अंदर लोग नहीं जाना चाहिए. So until unless there is a provided proper manhole, in the sense for entry and egress, and no person shall be required to allow to enter any confined space as is referred to subsection 1 until all practicable measures have been taken to remove any gas, fumes, vapor, or dust which may be present so as to bring its level within the permissible limits and to prevent any egress of such gas, fumes, vapor, or dust, and unless it is certificate in writing has been given by the competent person or such person is wearing suitable breathing apparatus and a belt securely attached to a rope, a free end at which is held by a person outside the confined space. So the person should not enter until unless they have taken the appropriate measures to bring them the mixture or the gases or fumes or vapors to an acceptable level. Okay. In other case, it has to be certified and written, given by the competent person, and also he has to use the safety belt along with the lifeline and the free end with the person who is standing outside. In case of any emergency, he can pull out the person who entered inside the confined space. Okay. Then this is also another requirement with respect to the confined space itself, 36A. So precautions regarding the use of portable electric light. In any factory, no portable electric light or any other electric appliances of voltage exceeding 24 volts shall be permitted for use inside any chamber, tank, or vat or pit or pipelines, etc., in a confined space unless adequate safety devices are provided. In any flammable gas, fumes or dust is likely to be present in such chambers and tanks, vents, etc., and other confined spaces. No lamp or light other than the flame-proof construction shall be permitted to be used there. So, 24 volts. More than this, you should not allow to take inside the confined spaces. That too, a flame-proof electrical lamps. So that what will happen when I say flame-proof, there are different types of flame-proof: N type, E type, P type, etc. That we cover in chapter 8. I mean, nothing but already we covered that in chemical safety, correct? So those kind of flame proof electrical fittings has to be taken care. అంటే కన్ఫైన్ స్పేస్లో ఎవరో కూడాను వెళ్ళకూడదు. ఎందుకంటే అక్కడ మనకి ఫ్లేమబుల్ గ్యాసెస్ కానీ లేదంటే డస్ట్ కానీ ఉండేదానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. సో అలా వెళ్ళాలి అంటే ఒక కాంపిటెంట్ పర్సన్ అనేవాడు దాన్ని టెస్ట్ చేసి ఇన్ రిటర్న్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ నథింగ్ బట్ పర్మిట్ సిస్టమ్. సో పర్మిట్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది ఫాలో అవ్వాలి. దాంతో పాటుగా ఎవరైతే లోపలికి వెళ్తున్నారో దే హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ది సేఫ్టీ బెల్ట్. But it is not necessary that whenever you go inside a confined space you have to use the safety belt. It depends on the nature and also the depth of the confined space. So it is not that okay, for every confined space entry you need to have a safety belt while you are entering inside. అండ్ ఆల్సో అక్కడ మనము 24 వోల్ట్స్ బల్బ్ మాత్రం యూజ్ చేయాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఇంతకంటే ఎక్కువ వోల్టేజ్ ఉన్న బల్బ్ని యూజ్ చేయడం వల్ల అక్కడ మనకి అది హీట్ జనరేట్ చేసి ఇన్ కేస్ ఏమన్నా ఫ్లేమబుల్ వేపర్స్ కానీ గ్యాసెస్ కానీ ఉన్నప్పుడు వాటిని ఇగ్నైట్ చేసే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి, వాటిని మండించే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ వోల్టేజ్ ఉన్న బల్బ్ని యూజ్ చేయకూడదు. సో వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపన్, దిస్ 24 volts will not create such an heat due to the longer usage, which can ignite the flammable substance in the confined space. Okay, so that we have to use 24 volts. Then explosive or inflammable dust, gas, etc. I'll just check questions. Okay, fine. So explosive or inflammable dust, gas, where in any factory, any manufacturing process produces dust, gas, fume or vapor of such character and to such extent as to be likely to explode on ignition. All practicable measures shall be taken to prevent any such explosions by taking effective enclosure or the plant or machinery used in the process, removal or prevention of such accumulation of such dust, gas, fumes or vapor, and exclusion or effective enclosures of all possible sources of the ignition. So where there is a chance of the process can produce dust, అంటే ఎక్కడైతే మనం చేసే మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ప్రాసెస్లో ఫ్లేమబుల్ డస్ట్ కానీ గ్యాస్ కానీ ఫ్యూమ్స్ కానీ జనరేట్ అయ్యే ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయో, or likely they can explode on ignition. All practicable measures shall be taken. అంటే ఏంటంటే వాటికి సంబంధిత మెషర్స్ అన్నీ కూడాను మనం తీసుకోవాలి. ఎట్లా అవి ఎక్స్ప్లోడ్ అవ్వకుండా. One is effective enclosure of the plant or machinery used in the process. So first of all, you should have proper controls in place, enclosures in place, so that we can able to prevent. Then removal or prevention of accumulation of such dust. So either we have to remove the dust which is fumes which is generated immediately, or we have to prevent that accumulation. Then exclusion or effective enclosure of all the possible sources of ignitions. Whatever the possible sources of ignitions, for example, naked flames, hard works, friction between the bearings, pumps. If you are not done lubrication properly, then there will be a chance of generation of sparks between the friction. So all పాసిబుల్ ఇగ్నిషన్ సోర్సెస్ అంటే ఏవైతే ఒక వేడిని కలిగించేవి లేదంటే ఒక నిప్పు రవ్వని కలిగించేటివి యాక్టివిటీస్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో వాటన్నింటిని కూడా మనం కంట్రోల్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, then we can discuss third point, where any plant or machinery in a factory contains any explosive or flammable gases or vapor under pressure greater than the atmosphere pressure, that part shall not be opened except in accordance with the following provisions. సో ఏదైనా ఒక మిషన్ కానీ ప్లాంట్ కానీ ప్రెషరైజ్డ్ కండిషన్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు అంటే కేజీ పర్ సెంటీమీటర్ స్క్వేర్ 1 kg per సెంటీమీటర్ స్క్వేర్ కంట ప్రెషర్ ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ ప్రెషర్ని ఆ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మనం ఓపెన్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇక్కడున్న ఫాలోయింగ్ మెజర్స్ని మనం ఫాలో అవ్వాలి. వన్ ఈజ్ బిఫోర్ the fastening of any joint of the pipe connected with the part of or the fastening of the cover of any opening into the part is loosened, or any flow of the gas or vapor into the part of such pipe shall be effectively stopped by the stop valve or other means. One is, you should not directly open completely, you just loosen the nuts and bolts which are connected so that it can escape, and also in other side where the inlets of that vessel or equipment or plant, it has to be shut off. Then before any such fastening as aforesaid is removed, all practicable measures shall be taken to reduce the pressure of the gas or vapor in the part of pipe or to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, before doing such removing or losing of the pipeline or the vessel or the plant, so what we have to do, you have to reduce the pressure before doing that activity. Okay, then third point, where such fastening as aforesaid has been loosened or removed, effective measures shall be taken to prevent any explosive or inflammable gas or vapor from entering the part or pipe until the fastening has been secured, as the case may be securely replaced. In case of you are replacing whatever the pipes or connections which are loosened, it has to be effectively controlled. Okay. Then we have precautions in the case of fire. So this specific section focuses on the firefighting measures. So in every factory, all practicable measures shall be taken to prevent outbreak of fire and its spread both internally and externally, and to provide and maintain a safe means of escape for all the persons in the event of fire, and the necessary equipment and facilities for extinguishing the fire. So in every factory we have to provide practicably shall be taken prevent the outbreak of the fire, which means to avoid the fire accidents, and also whether it is internally or externally. Sometimes internal combustion inside the vessel, sometimes outside the vessels. So here we have to confirm, or we have to make sure that there is no such incidents, and also we should also provide safe means of access. అంటే ముందు మంటలు జరగకుండా చూసుకోగలగాలి. ఇన్ కేస్ దెర్ ఈస్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ దేర్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్, అంటే అక్కడ మనము సేఫ్ ఎగ్జిట్ ఆర్ సేఫ్ మీన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎస్కేప్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఎమర్జెన్సీ ఎగ్జిట్స్ అనేవి మనం ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి. దాంతోపాటుగా నెసెసరీ ఎక్విప్మెంట్స్ అండ్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఫర్ ఎక్స్టింగ్విషింగ్ ఫైర్. One is providing emergency escape routes, and second thing, providing equipments and facilities to fight against the fire. It's nothing but extinguishing the fire. Okay, what are the three methods we follow for extinguishing the fire? What are the three basic methods we follow?
Sir, cooling, smoothing, and
Cooling, smothering, starving, and
starving, sir.
Sorry?
And sir, there is actually four, no, sir. Cooling, starving, smoothing, and squinching, which is removal of free radicals.
Quinzing?
Yes, sir.
And
सर
what is the
चार
fourth
मेथड है
one?
ना ये
हाँ हाँ हाँ
एक तो कूलिंग हो गया एक
हाँ.
कट ऑफ कूलिंग हो गया कट ऑफ हीट एंड स्टार्विंग कट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन एंड स्मूथरिंग आई मीन
नहीं, स्मूथरिंग हो गया, कट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन.
सॉरी
Starvation,
स्मूथ
cutting the fuel.
स्टार्विंग कट ऑफ फ्यूल ये सर और फोर्थ तो जो फ्री रेडिकल का रिमूव करते हैं स्क्विंचिंग बोलते हैं ना सर ये फोर्थ वन.
No, I'm not familiar with the fourth one. I'm sorry. I know only these three methods. Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay, so for the firefighting, what are the three methods we basically follow? One is, as we know, if the fire has to generate, if the fire has to begin, there we need sufficient amount of heat as well as sufficient amount of oxygen and also a combustible materials, either maybe in the form of a liquid or in the form of a solid or in the form of a gas. So it should be a flammable or combustible material, then the fire can start. So same way, if any of these three elements it is absent, the fire will not start and also it can't sustain. So if the oxygen is not there, so over a period of time the fire will automatically extinguish. That method is called smoothering. So here mostly we do smoothering by applying the a foam fire extinguisher and also sometimes CO2. So excess CO2, what will happen? It will, if it is in a confined space, if it is in a closed atmosphere where CO2 fire extinguisher or CO2 flooding system, basically we use in the electrical panels or data centers, etc., where it can take out the oxygen from the immediate vicinity so that the fire cannot continue. And the other one, which is starvation, which is nothing but removing of availability of combustible materials around the fire or in the path of the fire. So especially you could see this kind of extinguishing method in the forest fires, where they dig the soil or they separate the combustible materials or taking out of all the combustible materials nearby, so that whatever it already catches the fire, those materials will burn off, then it will automatically extinguishes because of there is no further availability of a combustible material, or I can say as a common, there is no availability of fuel to burn further. Third one, the heat. So heat is the utmost element which is required. I mean, even the oxygen and also fuel also very utmost. The heat, how we can remove? By cooling. So the most common extinguishing media is water, where we can remove the heat so that the fire automatically extinguishes. Okay, just to give an further this thing. So one is, here we are asking every factory they have to provide the safe means of escape. So when you say escape, it is nothing but emergency exit. So those exits has to be properly designed as per the NBC, based on the type of the building and also based on the what do you call, depends on the type of hazard, either low, medium or high hazard, depends on that your distance of the escape will change. Okay, if it is highly hazardous, you will have 25 feet or 25 meter. If it is moderately, it is around 40 or 45 meter. Even it is low hazard also, it is 45 meter, 40 or 45, I am not exactly remember. You could see in the NBC, National Building Code, Volume 1, Chapter 4. Okay, there you will find these details. So it is not about only providing the emergency exits, it is also responsibility of the management and also safety department to make sure that those emergency exits are using for the right purpose. So it should not be blocked, it should not be used as a storage, or it should not be used for other purposes. So we have to ensure that. Even sometimes what will happen, they used to lock also these emergency doors, so we have to ensure that. And also these emergency exit has to open from inside to outside. Okay, once you push the bar, the door should open outside, it should not open inside. Okay, that is also a requirement. Then extinguishing media, so here you will have fire extinguishers, sprinkler system, foam monitors, or and also the modular type fire extinguishers, where you are exactly keeping over the equipment. And also nowadays we had fireballs, even CO2 flooding systems for the electrical panels, then detection systems, etc., etc. The effective measures shall be taken to ensure that in every factory all the workers are familiar with the means of escape in the case of fire and have been adequately trained in the routine to be followed in such cases. So one is, people should be very much familiar with the workers, the means of escape, okay, how they can escape from the immediate vicinity. They should understand, or they should know where is the nearby emergency exit. అంటే అక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి దగ్గరలో ఉన్న emergency exit ఎక్కడ ఉంది. So लोगों को पता होना है कि जो आसपास में the nearest emergency exit किधर है. इसलिए हम लोग ईच फ्लोर का एस्केप रूट प्लान बना के हम लोग चिपकाते हैं, so that जो भी नया बंदा आता है ना, so that he can able to see that map. Okay, so you are here, from here where is the emergency exit. Even apart from that, we also used to put the direction marking, escape route or emergency exit, take right direction or left direction, etc. Apart after that, the people comes down from the building, yes, okay, you have guided how they can come out from the building. So after the coming out of the building, where they have to go, they have to go to the safe assembly point. From there you have to arrange signages which can lead all the people to the safe assembly point. Okay, so people should be aware, and also we have to give sufficient training. And the state government may take rules in respect of any factory or clause description of factories required means to be adapted to give the effective measures. When the state government, they will say that okay, what are the types of fire extinguisher has to be keep, or the quantity of fire extinguishers. Even in the NBC also they clearly mentioned the number of fire extinguishers, and also the fire pumps, the capacity of the overhead tanks, etc. Apart from that, the state factories rules also will have a defined set of requirements. Okay, then power to require specification of defective parts or test of stability. Okay, if it appears to be an inspector that any building or part of the building or part of the base or machinery or plant in a factory is in such a condition that it may be dangerous to human life or safety, he may serve, or the occupier or manager or both of the factory, an order to writing requiring him to before a specific date to furnish such drawings, specifications and other particulars may be necessary to determine whether such building, base or means plant can be used with safety and to carry out such test in such a manner as may be specified in the order, or to conform or to inform the inspector of the results thereof. It is nothing but a building stability test where we do also by the third party. Then section 40, safety of the buildings and machinery. So it is also a similar provision. Then 48, maintenance of the buildings. So it is appears to the inspector any building or machinery or factory in such state disappear or likely to be lead to condition of detrimental to health and welfare of the workers. He may serve the occupier or manager both the factory in writing, specify the measures which is his opinion should be taken. In the sense, if the building seems to be very dirty or if it is not maintained well, it maybe leads to risk to the people. He will suggest the precautionary measures to be taken to the occupier in writing. Then 40B, safety officer. So what is the safety officer requirement? How many safety officer required in a factory? Any guess?
Sir,
10 or 20?
500, sir.
Okay. As per the Factories Act?
Sir, as per BOCW Act.
नहीं BOCW छोड़िए. I'm asking as per the Factories Act, how many safety officer should be there in a factory?
For 1,000 employees, one safety officer required, I think.
Okay. Any other answers?
And also depends upon risk level of the factory. This is also one point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Nirup, you are right. I think with the latest update, now they have changed it to 2000, which is in 19th version of the VJ Rao's Factories Act book, which I have seen recently. Now they made it 2000. For every 2000, one employee. Over and above, for every 1,000, we need to have one safety officer.
Sir, it is
Apart from
comes
that,
in 2025, huh? It is?
yes.
Okay, okay.
So apart from this, as Nirup mentioned, in case even though the factory is less than 500 or only 200, if the nature of operations are risky or highly hazardous in nature, the inspector of factories may insist the occupier to have a safety officer apart from the general conditions. Okay. So, wherein 1,000 or more workers or ordinary employed, wherein the opinion of the state government, it is the old version. With the new version, I am not find the e-copy. I mean the PDF copy, but in the physical copy, I read that it is 2,000 now. Where in the opinion of state government, any manufacturing process or operations is carried out which possess or operations involves any risk of bodily injury, poisoning or disease, or any other hazards to health to the persons employed in the factory, the occupier shall, if so required by the state government by notification in the official gazette, employ such number of safety officers as may be specified in that notification. The duties and qualification of conditions of the service of the safety officer be specified in the state government. Okay, we'll see this state government this thing as well. Okay, I'll just take this section number 41. So after the break, we can see the roles and responsibilities of safety officer, because that is also important. There is a high chance of asking a question. Okay. So the power to make rules to supplement this chapter. So it is just basically the government have power to change these rules in case of it is required. The next chapter is chapter 4A, which is a subchapter under 4. So chapter 4 is safety, and chapter 4A it is basically provisions relating to hazardous process. We have seen the definitions in the preliminary section, where what is meant by hazardous process. Here we have what are the special provisions with respect to hazardous process. When you say hazardous process, first is constitution of site appraisal committee. So basically, the state government may, or for the purpose of advising, okay, it to a consider or application of grant or permission, state government may form, okay, this site appraisal committee, grant permission for a initial location of the factory involving in the hazardous process. Basically, there are a set of people or number of people who will be act as this committee, so that they will recommend the government. Okay, either we can set up this company in that particular location. So definitely, the manufacturer or the occupier will propose, okay, specific location. So I'm planning to uh, have a factory in this location. Is it fine? Then the company or and the government will form this committee. Then based on the committee's recommendation, they will give the permission. Okay. So basically, who will be in the committee? There is a chief inspector of the state who shall be the chairman of the committee. As we have seen the committee like sustainable safety steering committee or safety committee. So where the chairman is the inspector of or the owner of the factory. Here for this committee, chief inspector of factories of the state act as a chairman, and the respective central board of prevention and control of water pollution appointed to a by the central government under section 3 water. It is nothing but from CPCB, one person will be there, and respective central board of prevention of control of air, and also a representative from the state board of appointed under water prevention, one guy from the CPCB and one person from the state pollution control board, and also representative from the state again, and department of environmental, and representative from the metallurgical department and expert field of occupational health and safety, representative from town planning department, etc. will be there in this committee. All these people together, they will give a report to the government. Either we can allow this factory in that particular location or not. Okay, I am stopping here. We have 20 seconds. So after the break, we can discuss.